As you listen to these words, let them settle into you like a warm blanket around your heart. There is a power in you, quiet, steady, and always present, that is waiting for your permission to rise. And the beautiful truth is this: the moment you learn to direct your inner world, your outer world begins to shift with surprising speed. Nothing accelerates that shift more gently, more naturally than the moments right before sleep. Because when you understand how to use sleep as a bridge between what you desire and what you manifest, life begins to feel almost magical. You have felt it before, those quiet moments when the world slows down, when your thoughts drift without resistance, and when the boundaries between imagination and reality blur. In that state, you are closest to your true creative power. It is the time when your mind is most receptive, most impressionable, and most ready to accept a new version of you. And the secret is simple. Whatever you accept as true in that sacred state begins to take root in your life. There is a gentle wisdom whispered through many spiritual teachings that says, as you believe in your heart, so it becomes. Not through force, not through struggle, but through the quiet acceptance of a new state of being. When you drift into sleep while holding the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are giving the deeper part of you, your subconscious, your inner spirit, the instruction to bring it into form. Think of it like planting a seed. During the day, your mind is busy, distracted, and often full of noise. But at night, when the world softens and your thoughts slow, the soil of your consciousness becomes rich and open. Whatever you plant in that moment grows with astonishing speed. Sleep is not an escape from life, it is the workshop where life is shaped. Many people try to manifest through effort alone. They affirm during the day, they visualize for a few minutes, and then they let doubt or habit take over. But the moment right before sleep is different. It is sacred. It is a doorway. When you step through it intentionally, by imagining the scene that represents your desire as already real, your inner being absorbs it completely, without argument. And what is absorbed must eventually express itself. This is why so many spiritual masters emphasize the importance of the state you enter sleep in. One teaching says, lay aside the old self with its patterns and put on the new self, created according to your desire. In other words, do not go to sleep as the person who lacks what they want. Go to sleep as the person who already has it. You can do this gently. You don't need to force vivid images or perfect pictures. All you need is the feeling. Imagine something simple, something natural, something that would only happen if your desire were already fulfilled. If you are seeking love, imagine feeling the warmth of companionship as you close your eyes. If you are seeking abundance, imagine the ease and relief of already having what you need. If you are seeking healing, imagine the quiet joy of knowing your body is whole. Let that feeling wrap around you as you drift off. Let it soothe you. Let it become your final inner conversation of the day. Because in that soft, drowsy state, your imagination is no longer just imagination. It is creation. There is a quiet line in ancient writing that says, I will lie down in peace and sleep, for you sustain me. It is a reminder that you are supported by something vast and loving. Something that honors the thoughts you hold and the feelings you nurture. Sleep is not simply rest. It is alignment with that deeper power. You may wonder why this works so effectively. It is because the subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It takes everything you feel deeply as instruction. During the day, your conscious mind often blocks these impressions with logic, fear, or old patterns. But at night, when consciousness fades, the subconscious stands open and receptive. The state you fall asleep in becomes the blueprint it follows. This is why worrying before bed often leads to more worry. Why going to sleep angry leads to waking up heavy. Why going to bed hopeful leads to waking up inspired. The subconscious magnifies what it receives, and sleep is the gateway through which everything filters. Now imagine what happens when you deliberately choose what you send through that gateway. Imagine going to bed tonight already feeling the success you desire. Imagine drifting into sleep with the quiet certainty that life is unfolding beautifully for you. Imagine letting the final moments of your day be filled with gratitude, love, and the inner knowing that what you seek is already yours. That simple shift can transform your life. Do not underestimate gentle practices. Great change often begins with quiet acts. Lying in bed and allowing yourself to feel the state of your wish fulfilled may seem small, but it is one of the most powerful spiritual tools available to you. You are teaching your mind, your spirit, and the unseen forces of creation what to bring into your world. If you ever doubt this process, think back to moments in your life where something happened that you felt long before it arrived. The times you sensed a change coming. The times you knew something good was on its way. The times you dreamed of something and then walked into that dream months later. Those are not coincidences. They are reminders that your inner world shapes your outer world. There is a gentle promise woven through spiritual teachings that whatever you believe with your whole heart, you shall receive. Not because you must earn it, but because creation begins within you. When you fall asleep in the state of having what you desire, you bypass all resistance. You speak directly to the creative power within, the same power that shaped the stars, the oceans, and every miracle you have ever witnessed. So tonight, as you prepare for sleep, allow yourself to step into the version of you who already has what you long for. Feel their confidence, their peace, their joy. Let that version of you be the one who lies down, the one who sighs softly into the pillow, the one who drifts across the threshold into dreams. Let the old worries melt. They have served their time. Let the doubts fade. They have nothing new to offer you. Let the new self rise gently in your imagination. See through their eyes, feel through their heart, breathe through their ease. And if any part of you whispers, "But how will it come?" simply smile inwardly. Creation does not ask you to know the how. It only asks you to accept the truth of your desire. The path will unfold as surely as morning follows night. Sleep is not just rest. It is surrender. It is trust. It is the moment when you hand your desire to something wiser and more powerful than your waking mind. And when you do, that power begins arranging the details, shifting circumstances, moving hearts, opening doors, and guiding you gently toward the life you have imagined. Every night is a new opportunity. Every night is a new beginning. Every night you are invited to enter the state of your fulfilled desire and let it soar into the deepest part of you. When you do this consistently, manifestations that once seemed distant begin to appear naturally, beautifully, and sometimes astonishingly fast. So let tonight be the night you begin. Let tonight be the night you choose your inner state with intention. Let tonight be the night you stop rehearsing the old story and gently step into the new one. As you lie down, breathe softly. Allow your body to relax. And with each breath, let the feeling of your fulfilled desire settle into you. Feel it as though it is already done. Let it feel familiar. Let it feel natural. Let it feel like home. Then drift into sleep with that feeling. Let it carry you. Let it cradle you. Let it create through you. And know this with a quiet and unshakable certainty. What you fall asleep believing, you awaken living. And when you begin to practice this night after night, something beautiful starts to happen. You will notice subtle shifts within yourself. Small sparks of confidence where there used to be doubt. Gentle waves of optimism where once there was fear. A growing sense of rightness about the things you desire. These are signs that the inner transformation has begun. The outer world is always the last to catch up, but the inner world responds immediately. There's a quiet saying that reminds us, whatever you ask for in faith, believe you have received it, and it will be yours. This is not a command to strain or pretend. It is an invitation to feel the reality of your desire as something already alive within you. When you fall asleep in that feeling, you are living the answer before it appears, and life must reflect the state you consistently occupy. Think of a time when you drifted to sleep in sadness or worry. You probably woke up feeling the echo of those emotions. The night magnifies what you take into it. Now imagine giving the night something beautiful. L to magnify. Joy, fulfillment, confidence, gratitude. Imagine how different your mornings begin. Imagine how different your days become. When your nights are shaped by faith, your days are shaped by miracles. Some people wonder, what if I can't hold the feeling for long? But you don't need long. You only need sincerity. Even a few moments of genuine feeling impress the subconscious more deeply than hours of forced effort. Let the feeling rise naturally. Let it be simple. Let it be gentle. If your desire is to be loved, let yourself feel cherished for just a moment. If your desire is abundance, let yourself feel supported and provided for just a moment. Those small moments carry enormous creative power when they occur at the gateway of sleep. The imagination is not a place you escape to. It is the place you create from. And the moment the physical senses grow quiet, right before sleep, you have access to this creative space in its purest form. You are no longer distracted by the world. You are no longer influenced by appearances. You are resting in the truth that everything begins within. As you continue this practice, you may begin to feel a soft detachment from the old version of yourself. Not because you are trying to escape anything, but because the new state you assume becomes more natural, more familiar, more like the true you. And as you become comfortable in that new state, life gently rearranges itself to match it. It's like tuning a radio. When you change the frequency, you don't drag the old station with you. It simply fades, and the new one becomes clear. The state you fall asleep in is the frequency you broadcast to your world. And the world responds with precision. If you ever find your mind wandering back to old doubts as you lie in bed, don't scold yourself. Just lovingly return to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Treat it like guiding a child back to sleep, soft, patient, and full of understanding. Your mind is learning a new pattern. Your heart is learning a new rhythm. And you are learning to trust the unseen more than the seen. There's a quiet assurance that says, you will keep in perfect peace the one whose mind is stayed on the vision. Peace is not something you chase. It is something you allow. And when your final thoughts before sleep are anchored in peace, in fulfillment, in gratitude, you align yourself with the very source of creation. Some nights the feeling may come easily. Other nights it may seem faint or distant. But every night you practice, you are strengthening the bridge between your inner world and your outer experience. You are teaching your subconscious who you truly are. And the subconscious always obeys the identity you impress upon it. If you want to know how powerful this practice can be, think of the dreams that felt so real you carried their emotion into the next day. You may have awoken with joy, fear, sadness, or excitement, all because your mind accepted the dream as an experience. Imagine using that same mechanism intentionally. Imagine falling asleep in a dream of fulfillment so real, so alive, that your subconscious accepts it as truth. That is the essence of this method, and the more you do this, the more natural it becomes. You will start to notice coincidences, small shifts that align perfectly with your desire. You will meet people you never expected to meet. Opportunities will arise seemingly from nowhere. Doors will open in ways that feel almost orchestrated, and that is because they are. Your inner world is orchestrating your outer world with quiet precision. The moment you assume a new state, everything in creation begins moving to support it. Not because you forced it, but because you accepted it. Acceptance is the key, and sleep is the doorway through which that AC. Acceptance enters the deepest part of you, so continue practicing gently. Let each night be a quiet rehearsal of the life you are stepping into. Let it be a moment of communion with your highest self, a moment of tenderness, a moment of truth, and know that with every breath you take as you drift into sleep, you are drawing closer to the reality you desire, not by effort, but by alignment, by faith, and by the soft, loving power of your imagination. And as this practice becomes a natural part of your evenings, you will begin to sense a shift, not only in what you experience, but in who you are becoming. Something within you grows lighter, clearer, more certain. You start to realize that manifestation is not about convincing the world to give you something. It is about convincing yourself that you already possess it. And the moment you accept this inwardly, the outer world simply follows suit. This is why sleep is such a profound tool. In that gentle descent into rest, you bypass the doubts and the questions that often rise during the day. Your mind softens, your heart opens, and you become receptive to the truth that your imagination is the creative force of your life. In that state, even the smallest image of fulfillment impresses deeply, like writing on warm wax. The imprint is immediate, You may begin to notice that you wake up with a sense of calm purpose, a quiet expectation that something good is unfolding even if you cannot yet see it. That is the subconscious doing its work. It rearranges ideas, nudges intuition, shifts perceptions, and attracts experiences that match the new state you've accepted. What once felt distant begins to feel familiar. What once felt impossible begins to feel natural. And the more natural your desire feels within, the faster it manifests without. Because life always reflects the state you call home. When the feeling of fulfillment becomes your inner home, the outer world has no choice but to build itself around that blueprint. Some nights you may find yourself slipping into old memories or old feelings. But even this becomes an opportunity. Instead of resisting, gently guide yourself back to the you who has already received the blessing, already stepped into the new chapter, already living the answered prayer. Let the pull of the old fade each time you choose the new. Every gentle redirection strengthens your creative authority. There is a soft reassurance that echoes through these teachings that nothing is too big, too far, or too complicated for the power within you. The same breath that moves galaxies lives in you. So when you imagine abundance, love, healing, or transformation as already yours, you are aligning with something immeasurable and divine. As you lie there each night, think of it as a conversation with that deeper power, not spoken in words, but in feeling, in acceptance, in quiet trust. You are saying, here is who I choose to be. Here is the world I choose to inhabit. Here is the truth I am ready to live. And that deeper power responds with, so it shall be. Even if nothing seems to change immediately, keep going. Seeds do not sprout the moment they are planted, but they are growing from the instant they touch the soil. Your desire is doing the same. Each night you nourish it with feeling, it takes root more deeply until the day it breaks through as visible reality. You may even find that you begin to think differently during the day. Where you once doubted, you now feel a quiet assurance. Where you once feared, you now sense possibility. Where you once wondered when things would change, you now feel that things are changing. This is the inner transformation that precedes every outer shift. And in those moments before sleep, when the world falls away and your imagination becomes your sanctuary, you step into your role as creator, not through effort but through surrender, not through force but through faith, not through striving, but through the simple act of feeling the end as though it were already here. Let those moments become your favorite part of the day, the time when you get to embody the life you are calling forth. Let it be a ritual of love toward yourself. Let it be a reminder that you are never powerless, never stuck, never abandoned. You are always creating, always shaping, always tuning your world from within. And as you continue to fall asleep in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you will come to realize something profound, that manifestation is not a distant skill, but your natural way of being. That every desire you hold is already known by the deeper intelligence within you, and that sleep, gentle, quiet, effortless sleep, is one of the most beautiful ways to align with the life that is waiting to unfold through you. And as this gentle alignment deepens, you may begin to notice that your relationship with your desires changes. They no longer feel like distant hopes or distant visions. Instead, they begin to feel close, so close that they live inside your breath, your posture, your thoughts. You start to carry yourself differently, not because anything outside has changed yet, but because you have changed, inwardly, quietly, profoundly. This is the silent transformation that the practice before sleep initiates. It teaches you to move from longing into knowing, from hoping into accepting, from wishing into embodying. The more you experience your desire inwardly, the more it becomes a part of your identity. And once it becomes your identity, the world reflects it with ease. The beauty of this method is that it does not demand strain or discipline or constant effort. It only asks that you choose your inner state with love for yourself. The world teaches you to work harder, to push, to chase, but the spiritual truth is softer. You attract what you become, and you become what you repeatedly assume, especially in the stillness of night. As you continue to use sleep as a doorway to your new reality, you'll find that the old beliefs begin to loosen. They may rise up to be felt, but they no longer have the same authority. They are like echoes from a story you are no longer telling. You start to understand that the old versions of you had their purpose, but they do not have to follow you into this new chapter. You release them gently with gratitude each time you fall asleep as the version of yourself who already possesses the life you desire. This practice also awakens a deeper intimacy with your own imagination. You begin to feel its power, its softness, its reliability. You begin to see that imagination is not childish or unrealistic. It is sacred. It is the meeting place between your human experience and your divine nature. It is the canvas upon which your future is painted long before it appears in form. Each night becomes a quiet rehearsal of your chosen reality. The more you rehearse it inwardly, the more you recognize opportunities that match it. You become guided not by force, but by intuition. You start to make decisions that align with your vision without even trying. Your steps become clearer. Your path becomes smoother. Life seems to meet you halfway, and even in moments of uncertainty, there is a calmness that begins to surround you, a calmness that whispers, "It's already done." That whisper grows stronger the more you fall asleep in faith rather than fear. It becomes the soundtrack of your transformation. You may find that you start to enjoy the process more than the outcome, because in these nightly moments, you feel connected to something higher, wiser, and deeply loving. You feel yourself resting in the arms of unseen support. You feel the reassurance that what you desire also desires you, and that sleep, in its softness, allows that connection to strengthen without the interference of doubt. As your inner world becomes more aligned, people around you may notice something different about you. They may see lightness where there was once tension, hope where there was once worry, confidence where there was once hesitation. They may not know what changed, but you will. You'll know that the shift began the moment you chose to use your imagination at the edge of sleep, not to relive the past, but to create the future. And just as a child drifts into dreams without question, you begin to trust your inner vision with the same innocence. You begin to understand that the unseen world is the seedbed of the seen, that what you nurture in feeling must eventually show itself in form, that every night you choose your state, you are shaping the days that follow. This is why this method works so beautifully. It aligns your deepest self with your highest desire. It bypasses resistance. It restores faith. It builds spiritual muscle. And it teaches you to rest in the truth of your creative power rather than struggle against the illusion of limitation. Night after night, the practice becomes easier. The feeling becomes richer. The vision becomes clearer. And the life you once prayed for begins to feel like the life you are naturally stepping into. Not because you forced it, not because you chased it, but because you became the version of yourself who already are. Perceived it, and you let sleep carry that version deeper into your being, where creation begins and where every miracle unfolds. And now, let all of this settle gently into your heart. You stand at the threshold of a new way of living, one shaped not by effort or fear, but by faith, softness, and the quiet power of your imagination. Every night, as you drift into sleep, you hold in your hands the most sacred key, the ability to choose who you will be when morning comes. And in choosing, you let yourself feel the beauty of that truth. You are not waiting for life to change. Life is waiting for you to claim the state that belongs to you. You are not hoping for a miracle. You are becoming the vessel through which miracles flow. You are not asking for permission to dream. You are remembering that your dreams were placed within you as promises, not wishes. So tonight, as you lay your head down, step boldly into the version of yourself who is already living the answer to your deepest desire. Let that version breathe through you, move through you, be you, and trust deeply, lovingly, that the same power that shaped the stars responds to the feelings you carry into sleep. This is your moment. This is your turning point. This is where the old story ends and the new one begins. Not with force, but with a whisper. Not with struggle, but with surrender. Not with fear, but with the quiet, unstoppable certainty that what you embody in the silence of night will rise into the light of day. Step into that truth now. Feel it. embrace it, and let the power within you write the rest of your story.